Yes.
Terrifying.
Yes.
You're probably wondering why I called you here today. No, I mean, not really.
He will come to me. It's Darth Vader talking to the Emperor, who I am being right now in this scene.
Nice.
Touching my fingers. I don't know if the Emperor does that. Hello.
You know what? It's okay. He doesn't have to.
Huh?
No.
Huh?
Any emperors out there? Throw it in the chat, in the comments.
Any emperors? Let us know. Yo,
Of
throw
anything.
it down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just emperor of yourself. You know, who has the gall to say you're the emperor of yourself? I don't. I don't have that gall at all. I only have enough gall to use the word gall. Yeah, that's
barely.
the only.
And that's
the
that's
most
barely.
Yeah. I don't even think I'm spelling it right in my head. I can see the word, but there's no way it's right. I just can't imagine.
Is it the gall
the
like
way I
the
want it to be.
bladder? G-A-L-L?
Mhm.
Is that the same gall?
It's gall as in Steven Seagal.
Oh, well,
like that. Yeah.
I definitely don't have that type of gall.
Yeah.
Although I do find myself to be above the law and often out for justice. So maybe I do have the gall, and I just didn't realize it.
Let's go!
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen. Age of convenience. My daddy worked hard for this.
Wow, we're coming out hot.
Yeah.
Sounds like a couple of guys who want to get this thing over with
Yep.
on a Monday night real quick.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Yes.
Energy is high. Hey, tilt your camera down a little
really
bit.
Good. Okay,
I'm
tilting
getting
the
too
camera
much-
down. Right. Too much.
Too much ceiling.
Too much, not Jeff.
That's a perfect amount of ceiling. Now,
So, like,
there you go.
should
Wow, that's a perfect amount of dome. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
All
saying?
right. This is good. The fans should be able to enjoy this angle. It's not a lot of podcasts you see where the guy's hosting from this angle.
Dude,
So we'll just
Dude, we could totally do the 4 heads or
Yeah.
the 5 heads. We should have called our show that. We just do it like this the whole time.
Fuck. Yeah.
Welcome to 5 Heads, episode
Right.
96.
You know what? We're
Holy
here
fuck.
to talk about serious things.
That's very
but,
vulnerable. That's very vulnerable of us, you guys.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
super-
that's a really good segment for our viewers for the people that take the time to view the pod. All right, because that's gonna
Yeah.
sound stupid to you people that only listen. You're gonna be like, what's
so
going
you
on? I
go
don't
on-
understand any of it.
Get in the YouTube, get in the hot YouTube, go view it, or Spotify. It's video, and Spotify just updated its app, and everybody hates it. But you can watch a video version of this if you'd like to, and it's choice. Look at this. I've got a holiday tree.
A
behind
holiday
me.
tree. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm kind of disappointed in you, Jeff.
Huh.
And I feel like you're not paying attention to the details of my life in that I've had a puzzle here for like 8 episodes in a row, and
No, you haven't.
barely have. I did finish the border, and then I have one of these mats that you can roll it up in. And one
And
day,
still
instead
don't
of
do
rolling
that?
it up, I just threw it over halfway, and now half the. Listen, I want to finish. I want to do this puzzle. I got it in Ithaca. It's of the Falls. A puzzle is such a weird thing because it's not hard to do a puzzle. It's just like time. You know, it's like the most difficult part is like, oh, that piece looks like it goes here. Oh, it doesn't. Oh no. And as long as you're not colorblind, no offense.
I would say it trying to be offensive, but anyway.
And it's 1,000 pieces.
That's a lot. I'm more of a 500 piece guy. That's probably where I get comfortable. We go above the 500 mark, and I've lost interest.
I guess what I'm saying is I need you to keep me honest. You need to be my accountability buddy.
Yeah.
And like make sure I'm doing this puzzle.
You should do better.
Otherwise, it's gonna be Christmas in here. That's all anybody cares about.
I'm not a border guy. I'm not a puzzle border guy. The border will figure itself out. I'm looking for.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You only do the borders first?
I try to.
No.
I don't like where this is going.
No, this is.
I don't like this.
Why would you do that?
You're
Often
killing
the
me,
borders-
Smalls.
Often the borders are not simple. Why would you do that? The borders all
Yeah, but
look
when you-
like often.
I see what you're saying. You go for
So-
like.
I'm going for the largest thing, single object or being on it with the most identifiable. So like I need a confidence thing at the beginning.
you
I
put
need confidence.
Big Bird together first, and
Right,
then
if it's-
Oscar the
if
Grouch.
It's if it's
Yeah,
a picture
yeah.
of Sesame Street and all the
Yeah.
characters, I'm putting together Big Bird first, and then the rest is cake from there because we get a good amount of the pieces out of the way off the bat. Get all them yellow ones. Give me all the yellows, and then I'll jimmy those together, and we're good. So then we're looking. All right, then you pick some other objects, and then maybe you're going off. Maybe and a little bit of border happens, but I am not going around searching for pieces with flat parts because, man, I'm telling you, you pick a piece that you think is border, and it's not. It's just flat, and because that's how two pieces in there connect. And then you're going to drive yourself fucking crazy because that piece doesn't connect with any of your other border pieces, and you're going to lose your fucking mind. Then you're looking at the picture going, is there where else is this color white? That's more of a mother of pearl. That's more of, not mother of pearl. Like off-white, eggshell, everything.
Jizz, like cum shot.
Like that, right? Another off-white.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, man, dude, I can't do borders. Bag that. Never have, never will.
Well, the reason I did this border is because it was the white part of the puzzle, and it was like sort of. I thought it'd be easy. And
Why would that be easy?
because it's the white part. I don't know. But when you say like the worst part about finding the flat pieces is you go through it and you divide them into these little things I got back here, like the little divider things, because that's what I do. I get into something for 7 minutes and then I spend $60 on that hobby, even though I don't know if I'm going to be into it. And I bought this roll-up thing, and it comes with all these dividing puzzles, and I was like, I'll get all of the edges first. I will literally put 1,000 pieces through my hand and find all of the flat edges. And then I was doing this, and I was short about 8 pieces, so I had to go through the rest of the 950 pieces again to find those 8 edges again. It's just a great, it's a great time killer. That's all a puzzle is. It's just busy work. That's all it is. It's we do it in different ways. I'll be watching a hockey game, or doing whatever. I mean, it's I don't know, what is busy work? Why do we do it? Just to be occupied. It's another version of.
Was there just a plane flying over you?
It was very close. I got scared. I don't know if you saw my eyes, but outside of my window, I saw
could
the
hear
lights.
that.
It was like
I never hear anything in the background on this.
No, you don't. That was actually terrifying. So my blinds are closed, but the lights were like coming through, or I saw it, and it looked like it was maybe 200 feet away from me. I think it was a chopper, but it was very close and loud.
Okay.
I'm glad it didn't crash into my place.
Crash
into
because I'm not
me.
recording this twice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That probably came out in
I see
96.
what you just did there.
Did I just
see
do
what
that?
you just did there.
69, dude!
Nope,
Or
the
96.
other one.
96 dudes. Yeah, 96
dudes.
Yeah. Who wants 69 dudes when you have 96 dudes?
That's 27
we have
more dudes.
Listen, we have a very robust schedule for you people today. This might be the most programmatically fine-tuned episode of this show that ever existed.
Wow.
We, of course, on episode 96, are going to do our best of 96, whatever we call it. And I might have said it in the last episode. To me, maybe a Mount Rushmore year in my life.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. Stay tuned after this commercial break.
69 dudes.
And then we have super producer Steve has given us 10 doll hairs to spend at our leisure in a betting manner. So Steve was like, hey, what if I give you guys $10 and you guys can bet it however you want to, and then to like with the conceit of being you guys will be the most profitable podcast ever. And I think he must not have heard us ever talk about our bets on this show. We're not good.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know where he's getting his resources that's how this would pan out.
Mm-hmm. But we're gonna place bets for the Thanksgiving Day games. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We are thankful for you because we have to be. And also, just it's the right thing to do, I am told. And in that spirit of Thanksgiving, we're going to do, it doesn't matter. I was going to text you about this. It doesn't matter if you remembered. We're going to do a draft of Thanksgiving food items.
Oh, yeah.
Did you remember that?
No, I didn't.
Yes. You're not even, how are you even going to know? You didn't prep this? How can you even come up with anything?
Right.
Dude, you're going to blow this without, you didn't prep for this at all.
So
happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're with
Yeah.
the people that you love or in line at a Best Buy on Friday morning. That's where you
Really
really want to spend your...
really excited.
Yeah.
Do people still do that? I feel like Black Friday's fallen by the wayside. The lining up. Like, do people still bail on their families at like 8 in the evening and go like, well, I got to go to the fucking outlet malls. And then I got to stand outside of the Eddie Bauer store for 9 hours so I can get 75% off fucking parkas. I don't know. I have you ever done Have you ever gone?
Never.
Have you ever gone?
Of course not.
No? I did 1 year. 1 year.
Oh, shit. Really?
Black Friday.
For what?
Black Friday 2010. My brother Dave
Hold on,
and
let me
I
guess.
went.
Let me think of the era. Let me think of the era.
2010.
It probably, I mean, that's still physical media era, the edge of it. We're edging. Maybe a TV. Could be a PS3 era. Xbox 360's very hot. It's the hottest console on the market for online gaming.
Okay.
It's not. What is it? Okay, not even close.
No. So we decided we were going to get my parents a new TV for their basement for Christmas. So he was like, do you want to just go at like 3 a.m. to Walmart? And I'm like, okay. I'd never done it before. So like we just show up. Dude, there's like pallets everywhere. There's a good amount of people, but no one's
They're
like
not even
stabbing
shelving
anyone.
items.
No, and I mean, there's rumble and stuff, but like I'm kind of disappointed. I'm trying to think of what did come out that year because I remember like having the Walmart ad looking for a few things just to curious if they still had them, and they didn't. Like there was empty pallets where the remains were, but yeah, it was just a TV, so we knew that we would be able to find something. But Walmart was chaos, like as far as like torn apart and stuff. So we're like, all right, this isn't really good. We find out that BJ's, I think we even asked someone, or maybe we had a flyer from someone else, or like, but BJ's Wholesale was open across the street. And so we're like, I guess we'll go there. So we jump over Grand Ave, go to BJ's, and we actually got a TV at like 4 a.m. from BJ's Wholesale.
For people that are not from upstate New York, BJ's is an actual, it's like a Costco, a Sam's Club.
Well,
It's
that's
a real
awkward
place
for those people that have never heard of that.
Yeah. Let's
Look
go
it
to
up.
BJ's. Let's go to BJ's Wholesale. Just go. Yeah.
BJ's
We'll have our way.
Wholesale.
Wholesale.
Not glory hole. BJ's Wholesale. If you Google that, it's a safe for work Google website, much like a Costco, a Sam's Club.
I just go there for their gas. It's cheap and delicious. So, well, everybody's got like this week is Amazon is like doing Black Friday Amazon for like a week, and I'm just like, oh, I'm building a cart of shit that I don't need. I'm like, yeah,
It's
this walking pad that I've been thinking about getting for my office, I'm gonna purchase it probably. I'm probably gonna get that. And I'm just like going through like I just fucking love spending money on a deal, for stuff that I might want.
I mean, look at how high
It's
that
weird.
marked. Look how high that price is. That's sliced through. I mean, they're giving me a great deal. I've never seen a project anywhere near that price, but that's what it's worth. That's the MSRP. Oh,
So
Matthew.
I will be doing that tonight for sure. Well, and through the rest of the week.
Right.
How did this start? We were sort of talking about Thanksgiving, maybe, and Black Friday.
It
maybe.
sounds vaguely familiar.
Should we dip? Should we
Sure.
dip our toes into a Thanksgiving Day draft? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Like, I forgot what I said last time, but it's basically like I would think of it as like let's do 5 rounds, 5 picks each. Let's pick either your favorite Thanksgiving item. You could think of it as the best, but what you would really want there. Maybe there's a story behind it. Ostensibly, we're just naming things to create minutes on an episode of a podcast.
So, are we doing? Oh, it's so good. So let's. Are we doing traditional items that we want to draft? Because we could do that draft, or we could do the idealistic Thanksgiving draft.
Yes, idealist. So I would say like things I thought about were things I've either had at a Thanksgiving dinner, and as long as you can own it. Like if you were like, McDonald's for Thanksgiving, it'd be like, okay, but why? If you like, we save up cheeseburgers for the week before and we eat them because like we're very passionate about McDonald's burgers for giving thanks. It'd be like, that's okay. I could see that. But like non-traditional items are fine. I think. It doesn't have to be like turkey. Family Feud. Great moment in British Family Feud history.
Ah, yes, when the guy
Look
just
it up.
kept answering
Everybody-
turkey.
Yeah.
Turkey.
But yeah, I think, you know what? Let's go with our gut and let's not be too hard on ourselves. Okay. But also, if it's a bad pick, they're gonna know.
Okay.
Do you want the
I'm
first
just trying
pick?
to. No, I don't because now I'm trying to think of what the main dish is, and I feel like turkey's stupid.
No, it doesn't have to be main dish. It could be side dishes too. No. I mean, all the dishes, like whatever, like what, any part. Sorry, we should have talked about this on the last episode. We did.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
So I think it should just be make up
complete
your
meal?
Thanksgiving. Make up your Thanksgiving meal
Ooh.
of
Okay.
non-traditional things. They don't have to be off the wall, but non-traditional Thanksgiving items, and we'll compare and see who has the better meal.
Okay.
I think that's simple.
All right. I will go first
All right.
in this. I flipped a coin and I won. So,
Interesting.
go figure. We can snake draft it too, just so it's fair, you guys. I know you guys at home on YouTube. I always see the comments about whenever we do these drafts. You guys are like, you should do a snake draft style. I'm like, we hear you. We see you. Okay.
For 2 people, you should do a fake snake draft. Very crucial.
All right. My protein, my meat, would be brisket. So, not only is it, you could make the argument for Thanksgiving, but I've had it for Thanksgiving. So, in Austin, Texas, it's very common to have orphan Thanksgiving. And we would there'd be a bunch of people that live, in Austin that aren't from there, obviously, and we would have Thanksgiving. Like my buddy Jordan and I would have Thanksgiving several years in a row where all we would do is like do a brisket. And it's like the brisket's the most delicious thing in the world. And I was, if turkey was so delicious, we would have it more than one time a year. And I know some people do. I know there's families that do prepare turkeys, roasted turkeys once in a while. And I know we have it in our delis fairly often. Mm-hmm. But when you're thinking about what do we really want to eat? Because we're going to play NHL 14. The hit stick is fucking lively this season on NHL 14. It's crazy. It's wildly insane. I'm going to get way too stoned because Jordan is now getting into these things called dabs, and you just light it on fire with a torch, and then you feel like you're in a cloud, and it's terrifying. But I want a belly filled with rib or brisket, and ribs. We do ribs. Oh, Brett used to make. Oh, okay. I'll say barbecue. So brisket or ribs, either one. What your chef's choice, but some kind of barbecue meat. That's it. I'm in. Number one. Overall.
Okay.
Hard to top.
Well, yeah, because you kept adding to it. Matt's like, all I want is meat. I draft meat. Okay, great. Well, okay. So Matt took all of meats. I don't know. I want Thanksgiving to be more. So what do you watch on TV during Thanksgiving? What do you watch?
Well, the Macy's Day Parade, of course.
Shut up.
the
Macy's Day Parade.
Food balls.
Yes, the footballs. So I think the spirit. I think it should be because the Super Bowl is more about apps, right? So I want Thanksgiving to be more about food, almost like a tailgating feel. All right. So I'm looking to have enjoy and really envelop into the football feel of it. And so
interesting.
I want more of like, let's go.
I think I know where you're going.
Tailgating meats, like let's go pulled pork sandwiches.
Whoa.
I think a crock pot filled with pulled pork with like either you want your hot, barbecue sauce would be a nice tangy Kansas City style barbecue sauce. Put them on like a what is the roll? I'm trying to think. Not a brioche.
Brioche.
Like
no brioche.
like a harder, like a
sourdough.
Like a Kaiser, almost like a Kaiser.
All right.
All right. So like a nice, a little bit of hardiness to it because you want the barbecue to be good, but you don't want it to slop through on the bottom roll. So you need a little bit of roll with oomph to it. But I think doing like a pulled pork for the main meat would be solid. Because then if you don't want to do sandwiches, you don't have to do sandwiches. You could drop pulled pork on the plate and eat it with a fork. I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, you can go no carbs. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you want,
dude,
you can
throw
get
some
yourself
pickles on there.
Stack of
some jalapenos.
You gotta have like sliced provolone for people that want the cheese on it. You gotta do the sliced provolone. But I think pulled pork. Of course, it's going to be in one particular sauce, but the best part about barbecue sauces is as long as you're in that realm of barbecue sauces, you can have people with the bottles after putting their own specific style of different sauces, sweet sauces, tangy sauces, spicy sauces. So that's what I'm taking for my obscure Thanksgiving.
He likes it. I like it. Do you want to snake around?
So pulled pork, or pulled chicken, since we're doing a little bit of variety. So you did brisket and ribs. I'm gonna go pulled pork, pulled chicken.
Okay. Fair.
Sure, we could do snake. Sure, I'll take the second one. So in addition to that, let's go. All right, what do we want to do for a side? But like a hearty side. So, man, I'm thinking first, I gotta go with, I think it complements it too well. I think I'm going to go with a mac and cheese, a big, massive tray of homemade mac and cheese. I like it to be the breadcrumb type on top. I've never made the breadcrumb type on top, but I do enjoy when people do it. I'll even do the frosted flake, or not frosted flake, but cornflake top. Some people get creative with that. I think Mac. What's nice is that people like to bring dishes, right? People like to bring and contribute. What can I bring to Thanksgiving? If you can have like 3-4 different types of mac and cheese, right? Like someone wants to bring like mac and cheese with maybe there's a protein in it. Maybe there's a protein in their mac and cheese. Some people like to do lobster mac and cheese. Some people do like buffalo chicken mac and cheese. So like I think mac and cheese.
Yeah, lobster mac and cheese. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of possibilities with mac and cheese, and when you have people that want to bring a dish, you can't have 3 people bring mashed potatoes because mashed potatoes are generally mashed potatoes. Sure, people do mashed potatoes slightly different ways, but you wouldn't want 3 people bringing mashed potatoes. If 3 people are
it's
like,
just
I
glue.
have
3 sets of glue.
Right. If people were like, I have a mac and cheese that I really think you should try, I want to bring it. I don't care if I have 5 mac and cheeses lined up. If someone tells me that they have like this type of mac and cheese that they want to bring, you fucking bring that mac and cheese. Because you want to know what? If nothing else, I wonder what kind of pasta they use. Do they use elbows? Maybe they don't. Maybe they do something crazy. Maybe they use penne. Maybe they use spirals. I don't know. I don't know. But I think mac and cheese in the pulled protein Thanksgiving mac and cheese of all shapes and sizes would be a great number 2.
Pulled protein.
Jizz by cum shot.
Oh, we got a title. We got a title. Pulled protein. All right, good.
Protein.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, mac and cheese, excellent choice. Yeah, even I would do like mac and cheese, especially like doing like real like a Gouda or something like that, like putting like actual cheese into it, not just like not Velveeta, not a Velveeta style. I'm going to see what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna double dip on what you did and go with my appetizer to join the meats. And I'm gonna go queso con carne. So toss in a little. This you get the crock pot bubble. Get the queso, a real good queso, jalapenos, maybe a little bit of that Rotel, like the tomato shit. Put that in there. And then just some ground beef, and we're feasting on queso, probably for the first 2 hours of the day before we have our meal. Everybody loves a good queso. Probably need like 3 crock pots of it. Like queso goes a long way. People will continue to eat it, and it's like weird because queso like fills you up, but it doesn't make you want to stop eating. I don't know how that works. What's the science behind that, Doctor Who? I don't get it because whenever I eat queso, I'm just like, it's making me hungrier. I don't know how this cheese is just passing through me. It's working, but yeah. Queso, all-timer, great app. Dress it how you like. I like a little spice. I like a little texture. I like to beef it up. So, yeah.
Okay.
Number 3.
What's your number 3?
I'm going to go with something that I've once created. It's a recipe of my grandmama. And for a potluck, I once did it when I used to work in D.C., and it's a little something called cinnamon apples. So you'd think it'd be a dessert, but it's not, because that's the beauty of Thanksgiving and meals, old people meals. They used to make something called ambrosia salad back in the day, which was just marshmallows and candied whatever, and they called it salad, and you have it with your meal. So, but this is
ambrosia salad.
Yeah, and then this is cinnamon apples. So I made it one year. Yeah, you slice up apples, you skin them, slice them up, and you put them in a frying pan with like red hots and cinnamon and stuff like that, and you cook them up, and it absorbs into it. So like turns out to be like red colored apples, and probably like there's a good like 1/4 inch absorbed with the cinnamon, and they're just utterly delicious. Like they've got the texture of the center part is still crisp, and the outside just got a good balance of sweetness and cinnamon. And it's an all timer for me. I haven't had it in a long. I don't even know if she makes it anymore. But then it just sits in its juices for like a night or a couple nights. With cinnamon apples, love it. Look it up.
Right.
If you've never tried it or enjoyed it, try to make it just one day at your leisure. I highly recommend it.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't believe I've ever tried it. But I think
It's gotta be like
it
an
is
old
important.
Italian recipe or something.
I'm going to branch off a little bit too. I think we do need a little bit of a snack item, but can also be used as a side. I have actually eaten this with a fork before, but it's certainly chip friendly as well. I'm putting my money down with Texas caviar. So for those of you not familiar with Texas caviar, or some is known as cowboy caviar, it is kind of like a bean
It's weird because I
salad.
lived in Texas and I don't know. Oh,
Shut up. No
bean
one
salad.
cares. I don't know what it's. Listen, that's what it's known as.
I know bean
All right?
salad. Yeah, I never heard of Texas
So it's
caviar.
corn. It's like corn salad. It's got like beans, bell peppers, jalapenos,
Love it.
onions.
Love it.
So it is what's nice about Texas caviar is that it's really easy to put together. But there's a ton of different recipes out there. My buddy Greg, shout out to Greg, even though I know he's absolutely not listening. He makes a phenomenal Texas caviar, and he loves being the guy that has to bring it because he makes a good recipe, but it's really easy. It's cold, so I love it because it is a food that it doesn't need reheating. It doesn't need cooking. So like that, I think that candidate in a Thanksgiving that is not the dessert is a very important factor. I think that wins points because it's a nice cold balance too. You're going to be eating a lot of hot food. Sometimes you don't want everything to be hot. You want that balance. And that Texas caviar, you scoop some of that bad boy on a Tostitos scoop. Oh my God. It's tangy. It's got zip. It's got so many flavors. And like, I don't know any other situation where I want to be eating a black bean or like kidney bean cold, but Texas caviar gives it a home. So, definitely can be an app, definitely can be a side, but big fan of Texas caviar.
It's a good pull. Maybe I've heard the term. I don't remember it, but I know. Yeah, I know the concept. I've enjoyed it before. What you're talking about.
Yeah.
Tasty.
So I'm gonna go. What do I want to do? Do I want to drop a dessert in because it's time to get a dessert in there somehow? I don't think it's ready for dessert yet. So I'm gonna go in another one that's a little bit of a wild card. But I've made many variations of this, and I think it would be, again, a good app, but you could also have people scooping it and plopping some on a plate to complement everything else. I'm talking pizza dip. Now, pizza dip.
What is
just
that?
So you're cooking that in, sometimes either like you could use a pie pan, you could use a 9-inch by 9-inch pan, you could use a larger like 9 by 13. But essentially what you're doing is you're making the concept of a pizza, but it's dippable. Now you can use Ritz crackers. You could use any type of salted chip or cracker. You just want to make sure there's some integrity and oomph to the scooping mechanism because the top layer of cheese can be a little aggressive. So if you use like a Tostito chip, like a corn chip, it might just break. What I choose to use is I use celery. I chop up stalks of celery and use that as the dipper. What's nice, again, is that you have the hot pizza dip and you're scooping it with a cold, crisp piece of celery. Great scooping because it's already like a funnel shape. I mean, for those of you watching, no added calories to the stalk of celery when you're munching on pizza dip. But basically what it is the base is you're putting down a base of what I do, a combination of cream cheese and sour cream for the bottom layer. Then you're putting on some pizza sauce. Then you're adding your Italian seasoning. Then you're doing some mozz cheese. And you're adding whatever type of pizza toppings you want. a customary one. Normal one would be pepperoni. I started getting a little cute with it. I've cooked up some sausage before, browned some sausage, put that in there. I've done jalapeno, different types of veggies in there if you want. I do like peppers and onions in mine, so
This is the thing that you
cook
do.
those out.
Huh? You do this.
Yes, and
Okay.
it's great. We've done it for snacks and like apps, but I've also done it, made it for like a meal as well. So I want to bring pizza dip and give it a place at my Thanksgiving table. I think that, again, like the mac and cheese, I'm a man who likes versatility, so I think it's got a lot of different directions it can go. And again, app just as much. Some people might do it as an app. Some people might want to enjoy it with their pulled chicken sandwich. So pizza dip.
Mm-hmm. That is good. All right. So I'm wrestling between two. One would be another app, and one would be a vegetable. I wonder if I should just do a vegetable just so we can like mix it up because we got a lot of apps. Yeah, let's do that.
Shit.
I'll do a vegetable, and then I will do my dessert. My app would have been charcuterie board, which to me is the greatest food item that ever existed, and everybody knows that we don't have to go into that. So my vegetable of choice would be Brussels sprouts cooked with bacon. Have you ever enjoyed bacon, like like cooked on the same, like baked it together or pan seared it, anything like that? It's like when you get the bacon juices soaked into that Brussels sprout, like it's so delicious. It's like the best. It's like this thing's so healthy and this thing is so unhealthy, and the two intertwine so like wonderfully that it's like, cause a Brussels sprout's not sexy. It's not a sexy item. I mean, I know it does look like testes, but those aren't sexy either.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, the last 10 years, Brussels sprouts found their way back onto America's plate. I mean, that was a gag as a kid growing up. Like TV shows would be like, "Oh, I got Brussels sprouts." Like it was like punishment to be served Brussels sprouts. But man, I am 100% on board. Big fan of Brussels sprouts. Love it when I see it on a menu and they say that it's cooked with bacon. Absolutely, a little bit of balsamic with it. 100%. Big
Oily,
fan
juicy.
of roasted Brussels
And you know what?
sprouts.
Brussels. I just remembered Brussels sprouts are so much a punishment that at one point, I must have been like 8 years old, but my sister, my twin sister, did not eat her Brussels sprouts at dinner.
Oh shit!
And I think she was only asked to eat one, and she wouldn't. And this was, I'm not talking about bacon. I'm talking about either steamed or boiled Brussels sprouts. So it's wet leaf. You know what?
Yeah, why?
Probably not even wet leaf. There's probably vinegar on there too. Like one of those deals. This is how we
Alright,
grew
so
up.
it is a
This is how I
punishment.
grew up. This is how you know we're elder millennials. We had to eat vinegar-soaked Brussels sprouts, but she would not. And my mom was like, "Well, you sit there till you finish it," and she did not. And she sat there 4 hours, I believe. I believe to the point. I don't know if I'm misremembering. I don't think I am. To the point where hours later, she was still sitting at the dinner table with one Brussels sprout in front of her that she would not eat. And then at one point, maybe even the lights got turned out on her. It was something like, I swear it was something like, I don't know if I'm dramatizing it in my head, but it's like one of those classic situations of like, I don't remember how it ended either, if she had to eat it or not, or she got sent to bed. But that's how she spent her night, just sitting in front of a plate of one Brussels sprout. Just had to eat it.
That's fantastic.
Good old-fashioned parenting, you know? That's how we did it back then. But fortunately, bacon is good for me. So dessert, coming back around, number 5. The greatest dessert I know of that I would eat the house full of them is the Burn Dairy Chipwich. Just really good swirl ice cream with 2 soft chocolate chip cookies. Like the greatest ice cream sandwich you ever imagined. You know, bring one of those to your Thanksgiving party. Get like 20, 30, 40 of them. Just like, I would just house them. People would love it. Nobody hates it. It's filling too. It's filling. I can barely eat 2 in one sitting, and I don't know. I just love it. In the last few years, it's been one of my greatest discoveries since coming back to upstate New York. Is the Chipwich. I treat myself to at least one a month. Well, one trip a month, and I get 2 there. And so 2 a month. I eat them both. I get one for each night, and then I eat them in the same night, and all that. Yeah.
The Chipwich, I feel like, has to be the yellow package with it, like the Toll House morsels.
Oh yeah, so not that. I mean a good version of that. Yeah. So wait. I don't know what Burn Dairy calls theirs. They might call it a cookie sandwich or cookie ice. I don't know.
Is it like they put it together there?
Yeah. Like it's Burn Dairy brand, but it's a bigger cookie. It's like a soft.
Okay.
It's almost like a Wegmans type chocolate chip cookie, and the ice cream is like. I mean, I don't think they build it at the particular Burn Dairy.
But obviously,
they
it's
make
Burn
it wherever
Dairy
they
ice
make
cream.
it. But it's their brand, yeah. So there's a twist. It's like a vanilla chocolate version. They also have one that's like brownie cookie with mint chocolate chip ice cream. They also have one that's got shortbread cookie with raspberry and vanilla twist ice cream. So they're killing it. They're doing very well. And the thing is, if you buy 2, you get a discount. Like you save 50 cents. So it's worth it.
That's good.
That's what I'm thankful for.
You're also right. You're also being frugal. So
yeah,
desserts are so good and plentiful. It's really hard to get to a support one, and I'm kind of torn right now between 2 very different desserts.
What is? Well, now we got to hear the battle in your brain.
I know.
What's going on?
So,
what is it?
Option 1 is Caitlin's mom makes these bars that are like, it's snickerdoodle cheesecake bars. So like it is a combination of like a New York style cheesecake, but on like a snickerdoodle base. Like and then cut up into like small bars. They're so freaking good when they're nice and cold.
Ooh.
Those are elite. And then the other is, I don't even know where I've had these, but I feel like they pop up every once in a while, and they're probably often store-bought, but it's like, it's just generic, like, chocolate pudding, like, pie. Like, it's a pie, but it's more of like it's
like
just
cream?
Like chocolate. Yeah, like
crust?
It's a whipped cream crust, and then in the center is just like a extra thick chocolate pudding, almost like a mousse. So it's like nothing fancy, but just I remember like having those every once in a great while. Just a very generic chocolate and the vanilla, like from the Cool Whip, like Cool Whip more so than whipped cream. I don't want the aerosol. I want Cool Whip.
Oh yeah,
no aerosol stuff. And the crust can be graham or chocolate. I mean, graham I would rather, I guess, but like, yeah, just a generic pie. But for the sake of argument, and really revamping Thanksgiving, taking it on a whirl, we're gonna do the cheesecake snickerdoodle bars.
I like it. That's it's like it's personal.
Right.
It's got familial ties.
Mm-hmm. So this is interesting. So Thanksgiving, if you go to Matt's house, you're going to be treated to brisket and ribs, but don't fill up on the queso con carne. You're going to spice up your life with some cinnamon apples. Don't worry, Mom. Your son is eating well with Brussels sprouts doused in bacon, and top it all off with a Chipwich or 2. And then if you come to my house, you'll be treated to pulled pork or chicken, tons of different types of mac and cheeses, depending on what everyone brings. You'll cool off with some Texas caviar, and then go right back into the dips with pizza dip, and then top it off with cheesecake snickerdoodle bars for a true traditional options for Thanksgiving. Because it doesn't just have to be turkey and mashed potatoes. Exactly. Jesse Spano will be there. Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't just have to be turkey and and mashed potatoes, folks.
Good on you doing the minutes for this program.
Yeah.
So everybody vote. Everybody vote in the comments and stuff. You know, you guys have been asking us in the comments for a long time to do a Thanksgiving, untraditional Thanksgiving
Yep.
draft. So we did it
Yep.
for free too.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this one is just mowed around. Everybody have a fantastic Thanksgiving, or fantastic Thanksgiving travel, or if you're listening to this years later, Thanksgiving was a day that we would honor
Oh.
the joining of the Pilgrims and the Indians into one peoples,
Oh,
and
right.
they were
Well, there.
together in peace, and it was all written in history books as everybody was into it, and everybody's okay, and there
Everyone
was
ate
cornucopias, and there was it's all good. It's our way of saying, hey, it's all
fine.
good. Hey, from our side,
Yeah.
it's all good. Okay, from our side, it's all good. Yeah, we're all
Everyone
good
had
here.
Fun.
Yeah.
We swear.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoyed themselves.
But if you say thank you, it's everything makes everything okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for this bountiful feast that
We took.
we just get to talk about for 30 minutes. Life is good. But life was better in 1996. I mean, it wasn't better. I couldn't do as much shit as I wanted
It's
to.
different.
You know.
No.
But 96, big year. Like it's I think I consider a Mount Rushmore year because it's like really like coming into my own or our own. Like, you know, I remember my dad saying something. It's like, oh, you're a big fish in a little pond this year, because I think it was the year we went into 8th grade at East Middle School.
It was.
That was that year, and we had a math teacher who absolutely hated her job and hated Matt Kroger. Yeah,
She threw a stapler
it
at
was-
George Audie.
Yeah, it was great. But it was like this. That year, my Auburn hockey club team went to states, which was a big deal. My dad coached the team. That was a really fun year. So I was peaking. I was peaking in '96. Plus, yeah. But yeah, a lot of good shit. I think the thing that I most associated with it, we talked about it a little bit in the last episode, was this big year for Adam Sandler and for my life, your life. I mean, Happy Gilmore came out. What the Hell Happened to Me was on an album, and it probably was like some of the biggest factors in setting my sensibilities as a person was Adam Sandler and that content that he was putting out that year. I just remember like dying, like The Hypnotist. It was fucking hours. Hey goat, like all that shit. Are these people having sex or are they working out? Like that bit. You're having sex. Yeah, that's right. Like just like a lot of like really fucking weird
Nope, they
shit.
were doing military they were doing military squats.
Yeah. So I think about that a lot. The Olympics were in '96. That was a big Olympics. That was like the biggest Olympics maybe of our lives in Atlanta, Georgia. I know there was a bombing there, but we don't remember that because Michael Johnson had gold shoes and Kerry Strug did flips on a broken ankle, and it was like this like the most pro-America shit that ever existed. Like the broadcasts were as like the most homerism kind of like Olympics that ever were, and I was like so into it for the whole time. So much so that I had a video game called the 1996 Olympics on Game Boy. He used to do these like you just need to fucking throw a javelin or like do like it was a lot of like pressing A and B at the same time, then pressing up. You know, just to time shit, like one of those types of games. But yeah, the movies they're okay. I would say it's not a fantastic year for film. What'd you pick out?
No, so obviously the top stuff. You know what? Oddly enough, a lot of the top stuff, I forget that as much as I love movies, there's a lot of movies I haven't seen and popular ones. And I think as a movie enjoyer and what I consider a movie enthusiast, I don't know if I feel like bad that I haven't seen a lot of the popular stuff or if I feel better because I'm like, I'm like, that's okay. I'm like, whatever. But I feel like there are chances I missed out. So some of the big ones, Independence Day blasted. That was the dominating
biggest,
force.
huge.
Of course, you release that the year we host the Olympics because, so clearly the summer of '96 was America. Fuck yeah, was the theme
America,
to it. So
all time high, yeah.
Twister came out. I do remember seeing that in the theater. That was pretty big. But I was surprised to see, because I don't think I saw it I probably saw it in high school, but Nutty Professor came out. Eddie
Oh, really?
Murphy's Nutty Professor came out in 1996, but more importantly, Space Jam. I certainly remember Space Jam just being enamored with it and being like, obviously the live action with animation is great. Again, another shout out to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the OGs of such a project. But Space Jam was really great. However, I did, even as a child, think of the irony of like, okay, you had Jordan, and then you had Barkley, Patrick Ewing, and then you're like, okay, great. Oh, Larry Johnson. Oh, okay, Larry Johnson from Charlotte Hornets. All right, yeah, I can get behind that. Then
Is
you're
that
like
Grandma?
Muggsy.
Whatever,
Then you're like Grandmama.
Grandmama.
And then you had Muggsy Bogues. I'm like, okay, so we're only doing Muggsy Bogues because he's comically short.
Yes,
And
that's right.
And
yes.
then Sean Bradley. Okay, so we're doing Sean Bradley because he's comically tall.
Yes.
So it was great because there was like the big names and then those guys. You're like, this isn't a well-rounded group of basketball players. But that was good. Some of the
it was a
comedies
big year. That was the year the Bulls went 72-10 that year and won the title.
Yes,
that was like the
72
all-time
and
Bulls
10.
year. That was huge. So that was
Um,
also, before we escape Space Jam, I was listening to Tony Hawk the other day on a podcast or something, and he was talking about how they had asked him to do Skate Jam. So it was going to be the like sequel to Space Jam. So he was all-time high because like Tony Hawk Pro Skater had come out, like X Games had come out. He was the 900. So they were going to do it. And he was all signed up to do it with Warner Brothers and all this shit. And he went to Australia. He had to film this one thing. When he came back, nobody talked to him anymore. And it was basically disappeared because whatever the movie was with Brendan Fraser and the Looney Tunes had come out, and it totally like tanked. So they bailed on Skate Jam. Yeah.
Looney Tunes
But
back in
Skate Jam would be awesome.
I did not know that. Skate Jam would have been good.
And it'd be like they could do it now actually, but that would have been.
But I would still want all
really
the people
missed
from
out.
Tony Hawk 1, which I don't
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I still want Bob Burnquist and Chad
Liftberg.
Mullins.
Yeah.
So, a couple other ones. Black Sheep, of course, Tommy Boy, the not so Tommy Boy, but again, definitely doesn't get the credit it deserves. It's still a very good
spiritual
standalone
sequel
movie.
to Tommy Boy.
Yeah. I went to see this in the theaters, and I apologize, but I don't remember if you were with me or just our friend Dan Flanagan, because I know he was there. But Beavis and Butthead Do America. I went to the Camillus Mall.
Oh, that was this year. Oh, we saw this. Yeah.
It was. Well, I guess it was New Year's Eve. Was hanging out at my house, and New Year's Day, my parents took us to go see Beavis and Butthead Do America.
I don't remember that, but I know
Mall.
I saw it in the theater. It must have been with you. Yeah. The Camillus Mall. Holy fuck. Yeah.
So Beavis and Butthead were obviously big mainstays. But for a 13-year-old kid, boy, is that a movie that you're just like, oh man, I am so seeing something I shouldn't see. More importantly, a movie that I shouldn't see that came out was Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your
Yes,
Juice
I have that on my
Wine.
list. Yes, I have it on my list. Yeah. That was huge.
Yeah, from the Wayans family back when they had finished In Living Color, but they had not yet done scary movies. There was a void, but if you looked hard enough, you found Don't Be a Menace South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, them parodying all of the movies like that, Juice and Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society. So
That was a huge movie. It was a huge black cultural movie for white teenage boys.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like,
Yep.
yeah, I remember that.
Didn't understand half the stuff they were parodying.
No,
Didn't understand
no,
half the jokes.
We all watched it. Yeah.
Yep.
A couple other ones. Another Adam Sandler movie. Speaking of the Wayans, that goes under the radar that I think I enjoy. It's kind of like an offbeat but bulletproof.
Bulletproof.
Adam Sandler and
Damon
Damon Wayans, kind of this buddy cop, deal. But he's like Damon Wayans is trying to arrest them and bring him back, and it's like there's a lot of good lines in that. It's not like slapsticky, but there are some funny things about it. It's like almost try to go too Hollywood with it, but I think I enjoyed it back then. Executive Decision I put down because that was the movie the commercials talked about Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal in it together in this act with Halle Berry, and Steven Seagal dies like right away in the movie. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on? Yeah.
Well, and it's like,
hilarious.
oh wow, Steven Seagal's really breaking into real Hollywood. Nope. He dies really quick.
Dead. Falls out of the plane or something like that. I forgot what it was. Swingers. That's a later on reveal, but kind of this indie movie with like funny people and one of the most awkward scenes ever in a movie where he keeps calling the girl that he's broken up with and keeps leaving messages on her answer machine over and over. Fucking brutal. Come on, babies. Come on, pretty babies. And all that Vince Vaughn breaks out. I don't know why I put this because it fascinated me, the idea of the movie The Craft. I remember when it came out and it was just like 4 hot babes, Fairuza Balk, and all these like, part of this witches coven, and it was like this PG-13 thing that like I think took on a life of its own. It probably became too big for its own good in a way because it's still like it's pretty solid, but it was so popular. I think the soundtrack was like one of those years of the soundtrack because I think that was a big one. Had a lot of that like alternative / again industrial metal type stuff, and it was so huge this year. So Pamela Anderson was the biggest star in the world, and we probably forget about that, coming off of Baywatch, and she had a movie. Carrying a movie herself, and it was called Barbed Wire.
Barbed
It was
Wire.
supposed to be an action movie, and I don't know. I just mentioned it to like be in that place again where like she was like she was married to Tommy, like all this shit was going down. She was like the biggest star in the world, and I don't think people can even understand it now, like how big she was. Everybody knew she was ubiquitous with everything, like the sexiest babe in the world, and then she was in this action movie just wearing leather and shit, and it was just a real bad movie. Just bad, real bad movie, and just like, but it was so huge because people wanted to see it. Cause like, oh, I might get to see her titties, even though she was already in Playboy like 4 times, and it didn't. Like,
right.
But it wasn't like the internet was just becoming. I mean, I know the internet had been out, but nobody had. It wasn't accessible like the way that it is now. You guys got to remember, we were still trying to sneak away those Victoria's Secret catalogs when they came in the mail. So it was that time. Music, Evil Empire sticks out. Rage Against the Machine because the Nerve, 91, 99.5. How was it? 91. I forgot what.
95.1, 95.5.
95.1, the Nerve. The 5 at 9. The most requested songs of the day.
Ah, yes.
And Rage Against the Machine, Bulls on Parade was number 1 for months and months.
Forever.
It was huge.
It was so
Bulls on
angry.
Parade was huge. But it was also the era when bands that we knew like started coming out with these like albums that didn't sound exactly like them, so it was weird how to deal with that. Like, so Soundgarden, Down on the Upside, which I contend is maybe one of their best albums. I love that album. I've re-listened to that maybe more than any of the other albums. Pearl Jam, like such this huge build-up to a new Pearl Jam album, and it came out and it was no code, and I just didn't get it. Like, I was like, this isn't the Pearl Jam that I think I knew. It's not like grungy rock. It was like this. But again, I'm 13. I don't get music. I don't get shit. Weezer, Pinkerton.
Right.
Maybe one of the most panned albums of all time that later in life is like has a renaissance and people consider like one of their best work. So it's like a lot of this artists who already have some kind of like stability and popularity come out with some like different kind of sounds, and that's happening. Sublime, maybe the biggest year for them. Sublime became maybe the biggest band in the world for a lot of people. You know,
Yeah,
ska,
I mean the Sublime
alternative, hip hop kind of.
So, yeah, I mean, Sublime's always going to be kind of that what if, because Bradley Noel, for those people that don't realize, the Sublime self-titled came out in summer of '96, but in May of '96, Bradley Noel, the lead singer, died. So he dies. This album comes out, and this album blows people away. Very still on regular rotations with What I Got in Santeria being on the radio all the time. And like Matt said, like you're saying, it's like such an appealing for our age group because it was like there is hip hop involved. There's like punk stuff. There's ska. There's like it's every song is weird. Like nothing sounds the same. And for our age, it's like, oh, this is perfect for me. Why? Because it's like it's all over the place. Like I can just listen to the tracks that I like that like speak to me right now. But yeah, that was obviously on mine. You had already said ones like Rage, of course, stood out a lot. My brother Dave owned Evil Empire, so I got to listen to a lot of that. Some of the more mild stuff. Matchbox 20, Yourself or Someone Like You came out that year.
Really?
I loved that album.
I wanna push you around.
I was huge into that album.
That was, yeah.
Massive for like a regular, rock. I can play this CD around my mom and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So some of the other stuff, Weird Al Bad Hair Day. I remember my mom taking me to On Cue the day it came out. And I'm like, Mom, can you take me to the record store? I want to buy a Weird Al album. And that had Amish Paradise, which is really Weird Al's biggest hit, I would say, like where it got legit radio play. That was massive. But that album as a whole, for comedy and just music writing, sold me. Metallica Load,
because that's our Weird Al album, just with our age.
Exactly.
Like that's the one. That's yeah.
Metallica Load. So revolutionizing the Metallica sound. I remember it because that summer I went to my grandparents' house for a week, and my cousin and I my grandma was like, hey, if you guys are bored, here's this 5-gallon jug of pennies. You can wrap whatever you want and take them to the bank, and you can keep the money of whatever you wrap. So we literally just sat down and wrapped pennies for hours and hours and hours.
What a great way to keep kids occupied.
Yep. And we watched MTV for hours on end. And that summer, it was just, dude, Until It Sleeps was on heavy rotation on MTV. And so just kept watching the video for Until It Sleeps. As a 13-year-old, I'm like, this is the fucking greatest music video I've ever seen. So Metallica Load sticks out to me in that way. Other great ones, Beck Odelay. Some one-offs that I owned both of these. Butthole Surfers, Electric Larryland, which featured the song Pepper, their only radio hit. And then
They're from Austin.
I know you loved this one because we would listen to this in your house at Nelson. Local H, As Good as Dead, with Bound for the Floor. That song was ripping. Yep. Another one that I brought to your house. Exactly. Keep it copacetic. Another one I brought to your house that I feel like I brought to your house and I was like, yo, you got to hear some stuff on this. But like, it was really inappropriate was Bloodhound Gang, One Fierce Beer Coaster.
Yes, yeah.
I'm like, dude, this album, I know my mom would not want me listening to this because it's so weird.
What was their first
and vulgar
hit?
Well, Fire, Water, Burn.
Yeah. That's right. Burn, motherfucker.
But on the radio, it went. On the radio, it goes burn, mother, burn.
Yeah, that's
and it would make a donkey sound. But like that had the
we
song.
Probably
like,
like that more.
I wish I was queer so I could get chicks. Like not understanding half of these songs and stuff. But Corn Life is Peachy on the radar too, but I have to mention this one because definitive of Jeff's musical taste for years and to this day. Real Big Fish, Turn the Radio
There
Off.
it is.
Came out that year. And
great album cover, great album.
yep. And I still remember I was watching the offbeat show on Comedy Central, Viva Variety.
Mm-hmm.
That was after MTV's The State, but before Reno 911. So Thomas Lennon, as a lot of people know him today, as a movie actor, but Thomas Lennon and Carrie Kenny and Michael Showalter, Michael Ian Black were all part of this. It was a variety show called Viva Variety, and Real Big Fish did She Has a Girlfriend Now on it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like,
a girlfriend now.
and of course it's funny because I'm like, oh my God, they're talking about a girl in love with a girl. I'm like, this is so weird. But I'm like watching like the horns and stuff. And as a kid who literally had been playing saxophone for like 3 years, you kind of feel a certain way about it because you're like, you really enjoy music, but it's not cool to be in band. And so like, I felt this way about it. And then like seeing Real Big Fish, I'm like, they're like instrument players, but in a rock band. I'm like, this is a thing. This can be a thing. And so like, that was like my gateway drug to ska. And I picked up that album and songs
Sell
like
Out
Sell
was
Out,
the big
Beer.
hit.
I'm like this. Yeah. It's just so good.
We used to play that on trumpet. I
So
feel
good.
like we figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so dumb because I forgot. Yeah, Load was huge. That's probably why also 96 was a big year for me because that's when I went full Metallica love. Like the Until It Sleeps video really got me. Like, and it's like the first time I felt music. I remember buying that album. Like the song "Bleeding Me" was big for me. That was my favorite song for a long time, and probably still is. I probably would still call it my favorite song. Like I used to listen to it with my headphones on my CD player going to bed at night, like that kind of thing. Put my CD player under my pillow so I wouldn't skip it. You know, just make sure it had something soft over it. But I fucking beat the fuck out of that CD. I listened to it mowing lawns and.
I remember that when S&M came out and we found out Bleeding Me was on there, that you were so stoked that you're like, oh my God, Bleeding Me's on, like, because it was like a wild card. I'm like, wait.
It's a deep cut. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, that's quite a track to put on this, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I might listen to that tonight. Holy fuck. It was like, because I obviously had heard some Metallica before, but this was my first real, again, it was my Metallica album. Like it was like when you're 13, the albums that come out then, wherever they're from, are like, you can finally like feel them. I remember it was the first time I like actually felt like moved by music. And I was like, oh boy, this is neat. I didn't know you could feel things from music. This is cool. But yeah, wow. And also Nintendo 64 came out and we played it a lot. Wave Race, Mario Kart, all that.
You know what's funny?
It was interesting. What? What's funny?
I was saying is tell me. So N64 was released in September. I bought it with my own money from my paper route, and I bought mine in October. And I think I was the only person that had one because a lot of people were getting it for Christmas, and I wanted to go out and I wanted to get it to make sure I got one. I didn't want to bank on my parents getting one for Christmas because I knew it was going to be hard to get one. I looked it up, and it came out in September, and for all of 96, only 7 games were released by the end of 1996.
Yeah. That's why we went balls deep in Wave Race.
Yeah.
It was like
Mario,
it was the coolest shit.
Wave Race, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey, Killer Instinct, Cruisin' USA, and Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
USA, yes. Oh, Shadows of the Empire, yeah, that's right. Damn.
Yeah, dude. Even Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey, like it was weird arcade style hockey, but you could like slap shot and the puck would go on fire and like the net would blaze.
It was so hard to control. Too.
It was a nightmare to control that game. But yeah,
like
Wave
the
Race
camera
64
just
was
never
so
had the
sick.
right angle. It was like, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, what a great year. All the good stuff. And, all right. I think we've reached that time for Steve's
I agree.
Steve's picks. All
right.
So you have them. Do you want to use FanDuel as a gauge for like
Sure.
what we want to do? All right. So we're gonna put in a bet. So what Steve likes to do. So do we want to match the spirit of what Steve does? So Steve, our friend Steve, likes to put together these parlays that end up with odds of like plus 69,000, where he like bets $3 to try to win $20,000. So he really needs like 18 things to go right, and he might get 5 or 6 of them at a time. But someday, it might work. For him. Someday, yeah.
I think what we should do is we should do 3-leg parlays.
Yeah.
And
but just do one of them.
One element of the parlay has to be in each game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, does that?
Yeah. So there's 3 games on Thanksgiving. It's the Giants at the Cowboys, the Dolphins at the Packers, and the Raiders at the Chiefs.
Nope, that's Black Friday.
Oh, that's right. It is.
Bears, Lions, Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins, Packers.
Oh yeah, no, Bears Lions is the first game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep, I see that now. Like if you just went for example, if you just went for the favorites, the Lions, the Cowboys, and the Packers, all money line parlay, get you to plus 170.
That's not a good bet.
No, I mean,
I have no interest in doing that.
No, why would you want to win $17 when you could win thousands of dollars? Should we do just a touchdown, like a touchdown in each game?
Yes, that's what we should do.
All
you
right.
have to pick. We're going to do 3 touchdown scores, and we each have to pick a touchdown score, and it can't be the same guy. So we each have to pick a touchdown score. So
each game, we each pick
game.
2 touchdown scores in each game, so 6 total.
Yes, amongst the 2 of us, but we're each putting a 3-leg parlay. So, do you want first pick, or what? What do you want?
Wait, so we're not going to put it all in the same parlay?
No, we're going to build 2 separate parlays so that there's bragging rights if one guy gets it
$5
and the other one
each?
doesn't. $5
Because he gave us $10. That's what he gave us to bet. So
right, $5 each.
Okay. So yes, I don't know. I took first pick in Thanksgiving, so you take first pick in.
I'm gonna take
Thanksgiving football.
So in Thanksgiving, I'm gonna take. I got to go with the Detroit guy because you know what? That's just the way better decision. I'm gonna go. I think he just is so good for a Thanksgiving. I'm gonna go David Montgomery. I'm not gonna overthink this. I'm gonna go David Montgomery.
So minus 195. So very likely to get a touchdown. He gets them almost every game. All right. Actually, why don't you do all? Because you got to put the bets in separately, right?
Well, no. I Venmo'd you.
You're gonna build
$5.
Oh.
So I didn't know if you wanted to like do yours.
You did? Okay. What? I mean, yes, I do. Hold on. Let me put. I don't think I've been using ESPN Bet lately, so I don't have money in FanDuel.
Okay. Then I can do mine. All right. If you want, that's fine. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you do them both. I will reject your Venmo.
All right, fair enough. So, all right, so I'm going to do
in the game 1
David
with
Montgomery.
The Bears. All right.
Yep, I'm going to go David Montgomery for the Lions. In game 2, Giants versus Cowboys. This is a nightmare, folks, because there very well could be no touchdown scored.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go. Damn it. I'm going to go. I think CD Lamb's due, so I'm going to go CD Lamb at plus.
He's got plus odds, which never happens. His quarterback's just super injured.
And then Dolphins Packers. This is a wild card. A lot of options here. I'm going to go Devon Achane. So,
all right. So heavy hitters. Good players.
David
You-
Montgomery,
You went with
CeeDee Lamb.
some solid players.
And Devon Achane combining for a plus 662. So, folks, what
Okay.
that means for you non-bettors, it means a $5 bet is going to potentially, if all three of those guys score a touchdown, to win $33.14.
Okay. And that's I would say that's a reasonable bet. It is plus 660, but in the world of plus 660, that's not the most difficult plus 660 to get. If that makes any sense to people. It can happen.
It's not going to. But,
Yeah.
so, for Matt's, who are we building?
All right, so game 1, Bears versus Lions. Touchdown scorer. I am going to go with the Chicago Bears second string running back, Roshan Johnson, at plus
Whoa.
210. Plus 210.
You,
I'm going to build a
I didn't know
little
if
bit
you
of a
was going
Steve.
Roshan
I'm building a little bit of a
Swift.
Steve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going not with their starting running back. I'm going to go with the guy who's gotten a couple TDs here lately. Giants at Cowboys. Jeepers, this is ugly.
I know. It is.
This is bad. You know what I'm going to do? Dallas defense plus 900.
Dallas
I'm going to
defensive
go
score?
that the Dallas Cowboys defense is going to get a touchdown.
Amazing.
So we got Roshan Johnson, the Dallas Cowboys defense, which to my math now is plus 3,000. And Miami Dolphins at the Green Bay Packers. So you guys can enjoy this on Thanksgiving Day when you're watching. Note these bets. And yeah, do with it what you will. I don't know. Jeepers. Okay. Miami Dolphins. Odell Beckham Jr. to score a touchdown.
At plus
850. So that puts us at plus 29,350 by my math. Meaning a $5 wager could win $1,467.
And 50 cents.
So,
I won't come in.
all right, there we go.
It's locked.
Yep. So one of the bets could win $30.
$33.
One of our bets could win $1,400. And that's the spirit of Stephen Cololo, that's for sure.
It really is. It really.
And the thing is,
really
they're both they're both equally as likely. And somewhere there's going to be a comfortable middle ground of both of our bets where neither of them win. And that's the true joy of betting football. They're both going to
Correct.
lose. Yeah. So enjoy your Thanksgiving,
Wow.
friends. Keep an eye out for those bets. Dude, the Dallas
so bad.
defense. I can't
I like
wait to
that
be
the Dallas defense
rooting
is
for.
basically the same likelihood as Odell Beckham scoring a touchdown.
I know. Dude, imagine it comes down to like just having to watch the Dolphins game to see if Odell Beckham Jr., the greatest receiver of 2016, scores a touchdown for the Miami Dolphins against the
That's the
Packers.
world
Who
we
knows?
live in.
But we'll be thankful for it if we do. Also, if we do win, obviously, we have to pay Steve his $10 back. So we guarantee that.
Because we are men
Yeah.
over.
If we win $1,400,
This is a loan. This is a
Steve
loan.
will get his $10 back.
a 0% interest loan in the
Yes.
event that we win.
Yeah. Actually, if we win $1,400, Steve will get $20. And then we will put the rest of the money into the show. And by that, we mean the hosts.
Which means way more aggressive sports betting after
Yes.
that. We will blow it all on subsequent
Yeah.
sports betting.
So thank you, Steve. Appreciate
Yeah.
your generosity, if that's what you want to call giving money to derelicts who lose money at betting.
You too can be a super producer, and we can gamble your money for you if
Yeah.
you want.
I like this bit. This is a good bit. We'll bet your money.
We will bet your money
Yeah.
and give you next to nothing in return other than a little bit of content.
Yep. That's it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Tell us your favorite Thanksgiving foods and your favorite 1996 things and your favorite bets and all that shit. So much content. Wow. We're so thankful for you, and you're so thankful for us.
Yes, you are. God bless us.
More than me.
It wasn't working for a second.